Hello YouTubians, Kurt here. I want to do a short video today on why you don't need to go to college. So, as an educator, I hear quite often about students and parents making plans for their children to go to college, and it's not absolutely necessary. You can find a top 10 list of the people who have either dropped out of college or not chosen to go to college and are hugely successful. People like Bill Gates and Tom Hanks, things like that. These people are like comparing yourself to Michael Jordan. A lot of people say, oh boy, I'm going to join the NBA, I'm going to be like MJ. No, you're not. If you're not living and breathing basketball, since you're knee high to the grasshopper, you're not going to be that person statistically. If you are that person, congratulations, more power to you. Same thing with college. If you're not going to apply yourself and get the degree that you need to go on further in your life, then college isn't going to help you as much. Now, employers like to hire people who have gone to college because plain and simply it shows that you have had the stick-with-itness to finish the 4-year project. Or the 8-year project in my case. They want to know that you stuck with it. That being said, if you're going to go in and specialize in ancient basket weaving, don't expect it to do you a darn bit of good, because it won't. I have a degree in psychology and it does me no good whatsoever. Doesn't make people listen to me any more than they normally would. Okay, nobody says, oh, you have a degree in psychology. Boy, please give me your wisdom. Please shrink my head and tell me what I'm thinking. You don't get that from a psychology degree. Now, a psychology degree can further you if you decide to go for your master's degree and then you decide to go for your doctoral degree. Then you are termed a psychologist and then you can help people with their problems. To tell you the truth, I think just listening to your elders will, if you have elders who have decent heads on their shoulders, will do as much for you as any psychologist. Learning to be at one with yourself is very important. So some positive things about college. You're going to make some lifelong friends. You're going to make some lifelong mentors or business partners. You're going to experience a lot of new things, but it's not going to change your life. You are who you are, and that is who you are. Everything that happens in our life kind of helps us navigate and helps mold us. Going to college doesn't mold you any more than not going to college. Some of the most successful job fields out there right now are heating and air conditioning, plumbing, auto mechanics. You know what? Get out of high school, go to 9 to 18 months of auto mechanics school, and come out making more money than I make at 50 years old. Okay, that's just the way it is. Be a welder. I've got a friend who's a welder that can literally move anywhere in the country and pick up any kind of welding job, starting bare bones minimum $60,000 a year. Now, some degrees that will serve you really well. If you get a degree in computing and coding and writing computer code, if you're that kind of person, you're that kind of person anyway, and you don't have to go to college for that. All these businesses care about, because there's a shortage of coders, is that you can code, and they'll sit you down and they'll have you, perform for them, send in your resume with some things that you've done, and they'll decide whether or not they want you on your team. Now, if you are a coder, you go through college, you get your Microsoft certification, you get your Cisco networking certification, all that stuff. Yeah, you're going to come out of college and you're going to be making buku bucks, 100 to 120,000 a year, no problem. But it's not an absolute necessity. Now, here's some other things. Let's say you're going to be a doctor, one who practices medicine. Yeah, you need to go to college. You need to go to undergrad school. You need to take all the classes in biology, molecular chemistry, all that kind of stuff, and then go to med school and become a doctor. Here's the deal about any college that you go to, no matter what college you go to, is you're going to pay a lot of money. Let me tell you, colleges care more about the money than they do your education. They don't care who you complain about, what you have to complain about. What they care is, before they'll ever talk to you, is that your student money is all paid for and up front. Okay? Now, if you have a rich family who can put you through college and you don't have to pay them back, my goodness sakes, go to college. Have a great time. Then after that, take a year off and backpack around the world to get a little seasoning under you so you see how other people live. Expand your mind a little bit. Here's the thing about college. It's not going to really expand your mind too much, but it is going to teach you how to make deadlines, how to stand up in front of people and talk, how to stick to plans and make them happen. That's what employers want. Employers need people who can make presentations, who can stand up in front of people, who can write an eloquent sentence, who know when they've misspelled a word, or be smart enough to proofread their work and look up the word on Google. Okay, whatever. They just need the finished product to be done on time, done right, and they want to pay you, as little as they can to do it. If you're smart and you have an education and things to fall back on, as to how great you are, that's wonderful. College degree people don't necessarily make any more than the average Joe. The average trash man makes way more than probably your average psychologist who treats kids in the system. Their parents are drug addicts. They got pulled from the home. You meet with them several times a week. A trash man will make way more than you do. Psychology, school psychologist, family psychologist, child psychologist, those people are never going to make money. There's a select few, people look at Dr. Phil's a psychologist. Yeah, look at him. His daddy started out as a doctor. His daddy helped him get through school. His family supported him. You read his books and you're going to find out that he first thought he wasn't cut out for it, and that's why he has his own TV show now. It's because he doesn't like the BS that goes along with being a psychologist, which is essentially you sit in a room and talk to people and they don't ever take your advice and they do whatever the heck they want, and that's the way it goes, but you still get your money. Now, there is a huge difference between psychologists and psychiatrists. A psychiatrist is a medical doctor. They go through med school just like everybody else, and they specialize in psychiatry. So they go through pre-med, their undergrad degree, pre-med, med school, so that's 8 years right there, and then they specialize another 2 to 4 years to become a psychiatrist. Therefore, they can prescribe you medications for whatever ails you up here, instead of the psychologist who just talks about it and hopefully will, help you with what's going on up here. Okay, and that's not to bash any kind of job, but the most important thing, other than, when we're talking about college degrees here, the most important thing is how driven are you? Are you finishing everything? Are you finishing your homework at school? Are you finishing it well? If you're taking a foreign language, are you able to speak that foreign language? Do you truly understand the math, the English, and the science that your teachers are trying to teach you? That's the thing. If you're one of those students that doesn't get your work done on time and the teacher has to make exception for her and your parents have to keep on your butt to get you to do it, then college is going to be a pain in the butt for you, because guess who's there to tell you to do your work? Nobody, okay? Unless you're living at mommy and daddy's house while you're going to school, but they're going to get tired of telling you what to do, and they're eventually going to say, you know what, I'm not putting up with 4 more years of this garbage. If you can't get your work done, drop out of school, save yourself the $30,000 you're going to owe in student debts when you're done, and go to work. Okay, 4 years that you're in college, you'll also be losing out on income. So let's say you're going to live to be 80 years old. That could be, over your lifetime, 5% of your income. Who knows? If you spend 4 years at anything, you should get ahead and you should be making decent money. Let's say you go to work for Target. You work for Target for 4 years. I would assume in 4 years, you should be like assistant manager or manager of a store and be getting paid well. Okay. And you go along with the company, rules and regulations, and you enforce those regulations, and you rule over people, and you correct them when they need correcting, and you teach them when they need teaching. You should make decent money. That's a 4-year investment in business. Okay. Anything else, you put 4 years into it, you should get some money out of it. So that's the quick and dirty about college. You don't need to go. You can get a lot out of college, or you can get nothing out of college. That's the way it goes. But don't think that you're stuck going to college. Don't think you're stuck going into the military. Don't think you're stuck working fast food. There are a lot of people working fast food that make really good money. They're called regional and district managers, okay? How do you get there out of those 6 years? They're going to bump you up and make you a district manager as soon as that position comes open, because that district manager moved to a bigger company where the pay is bigger. So Life isn't all about money, but it sure doesn't hurt to have some. Until then, keep yourself happy.